hear a yoop? Please tell me I heard a yoop. From Hollywood, California, Meltdown Comics Harmontown is now in session. Please welcome to the stage the mayor of Harmontown, Mr. Dan Harmon. Thank you. Thank you. Don't know how to smile. All right. So there is a neighbor on my block who has a beautiful, like, varnished wood enclosure for their garbage cans with like little special locks on it, and it's like all like beautifully, like it's like this beautiful wood thing. And I get a bad feeling about that. Like I feel like you're probably a bad person. Like I don't know, something tells me you're a bad person. And
this is where he keeps his garbage containers before he allows them to be put out on the street. To be
no. This is when they're on just off the curb. There's this big like garbage can hutch, you know. Some people do this. Like I don't, you know. And so I walk past it and I go, you know, maybe his big fear is homeless people benefiting. I don't know. Or raccoons or something. Or Erin, who can see the brighter side of some things. Like I was walking past it with her and I said something shitty about it, and she said like, well, maybe the dad of that family like loves his kids and wanted to show him like woodworking or something. It's always, everything Erin says to me is always like a subtle barb about how much Minecraft I'm playing. Like I don't even know if she thinks about it. I was just like, oh, those donuts look good. Yeah, they look real. They're not made of pixels. They're probably great. And it's just like she doesn't even know she's doing it anymore. But anyways, so and I was chastened by that. I was like, you know what? She's right. Why am I so toxic? Who knows what the backstory is? That could be a cancer bin, like a cancer project of some kind. Or someone could have cancer and they made it out of their cancer. I don't know. You have no idea. There could be a movie about it starring Will Smith called like 3 Garbage Cans. You know, and the tagline is like, there's a bin for your recycling, there's a bin for your compost, but there's no bin for where you go when you got no hope.
Do you have a working title for that movie?
That's 3 bins. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's but I haven't told Erin this yet, but I am right and she is wrong because I was walking past it again today. So here's the wooden enclosure with the bins in it. So and then like the whole thing is like.
Wait, hang on. Describe this for me. Is the whole thing closed off to the street, or is it open that a trash truck can come in with a little robotic arm?
Okay, so their relationship with the city, I don't know how this works. Because I don't know if the person like goes out there at the beginning of the day with like a key and like, have at it, fellas. I have no idea.
Do they take them out on trash day and put
Let's
them
assume
out on the
that. Let's assume this is a pretty orderly person. Okay. It would be ridiculous to put that much effort and aesthetic appeal into something that was also just an obstruction, like a civic disobedience.
Yeah, because if that's the case, that might just be an aesthetic thing where they don't want their facade of their home to be sullied by.
Like I've already given this person the benefit of the doubt. They might have cancer. Yes, obviously they thought it looked good. If only there was a way to find out if they were a douchebag. If only there was some other dot where you could draw a line. We learn in geometry that a single point in space could be the center of anything, but it's not until there's another dot there that you can go douchebag. What is 3 feet from their wooden garbage cubby in their sea of Zen gravel that is different from everyone else who just has Los Angeles distributed grass? A little. This is where I wish, in the future I could be like Johnny Carson. I could throw up a feed. I took a photo, but we'd be excluding you guys and only including these assholes who pay money for the feed. But they pay twice as much as you do each week. You guys pay $5 a month.
Can we not put a photo in after we're done tonight and put this in for?
I'll try to remember to put it on my Instagram or something. But I'm just going to describe it to you. So it's like this little decoration. It's a little two-dimensional decoration that was store-bought. Like, it's plastic, and it's a image about this big. I'm holding up my hands. It's 8 inches. At least I hope. I hope that's what 8 inches is. Tired of worrying about it. I don't know if my first hand is at the base or at the taint, but it's fucking about 8 inches. All right, I can't stand it anymore. I'm 42. I give up.
What would your ideal penis length be if I was a genie in a lamp?
This is not the time for that. 8 inches. Everyone says 8 inches. I don't know what 8 inches is. I don't know what that means. I don't know if mine's 4 inches. I don't know if it's 2. I don't know if it's. I know it's not 10.
Okay, so back to the story.
Okay, so
no tangents. No tangents tonight.
So it's this small little plastic flat two-dimensional like it's just a flat thing. It's not a sculpture. It's like a
metal
plastic
or wood or
plastic almost like a day glow plastic. Like if it was nighttime, you might imagine that it would glow in the dark, but it probably wouldn't. But I'm saying, like, imagine that kind of plastic, like something that a glow in the dark frisbee would be made out of. So like just cheap plastic, but like bought in some store, and it's an outline of a dog squatting to poop. Uh-oh. And underneath the dog squatting, and it's got a little post so you can stick it somewhere. So this was made by some asshole and put on a rack for assholes at an asshole store, and this asshole bought it and it's designed to do this, to stick in an area. And so it's a dog pooping, and underneath the dog it says no. Translation: yes, the city of Los Angeles has seen fit to gather together and implement leash laws and doggy-do laws. But what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. My area outside my home is so fucking special that in spite of the fact that you have to walk around with a pile of plastic bags, and then if you don't have your dog on a leash, the police can come and yell at you and give you a ticket. We have seen to this as a state and city of animal lovers. But in spite of all of that, this person would like you, if your dog decides to start relieving itself near their beautiful home, you just yank that little fucker down to the next fuckface's house and let him shit in the inferior person's lawn, because they don't want shit ever touching their Zen gravel. No, not here. Because there's not signs everywhere. We don't live in a world where there's no laws, so you have to put a sign if you don't. Oh, I'm sorry, do you not like dog shit? We love it! We love it! We all love dog shit! You fucking... What? So we love dog shit? I love dog shit, is what you're saying to me. By exclusion, I have a sign over my head with a dog shitting on it that says, yes! I love dog shit! But you're special, because your garbage is in a fucking log cabin! You can't wait to get enough money to get in a helicopter and get the fuck away from who? Who are you gonna live with? Giraffes? They shit everywhere! You live in King's Landing. This is as sophisticated as it gets, motherfucker. Your garbage is on the curb. There's dog poop everywhere. For the 5 seconds before the owner is legally compelled to scoop it up into a fucking hot bag and put it into their silk-lined pocket. Jerry Bruckheimer has to clean up his assistant probably does. Like you, we are conscientious about this.
Can we ask our very talented and creative Harmontown audience to make you an equal plastic sign where it's a picture of you, a silhouette of you and Erin with a dog pooping into your mouths and says yes.
I just want to make one that says maybe. You never know, because the alternative is I'm gonna scar my dog's memory. But dogs only do 3 things, and they have emotional. We just finished successfully. Erin just finished successfully potty training our new grief dog, and it's a really hard process. And you're so excited the day your dog, like this little puppy goes out the doggy door, and you watch him, and he's like, there he goes, it's a big boy, and he knows to make it outside, and the idea that I'd be taking a walk with my dog, and he would stop in that forbidden zone. And then I would be like, well, that this person would have me, feel bad that my dog chose there instead of 8 feet away. What a bad person. They made that garbage hutch for bad reasons. They probably, I'll tell you, I now I'm comfortable saying, because of that little dog sign, the reason for the garbage hutch is because they see the Skeksis that come and pick through the garbage. They don't like those people. Who's that? What's that guy doing down there? That guy's trying not to panhandle. That guy's picking through your shit and pulling out aluminum cans from and they're like, I don't know what's he doing down there. Let's build a force field around our garbage. Protect the garbage. Protect the garbage. They're gonna get the garbage. I told you, but remember my neighbor? We called him Ethnics because he actually turned out to be kind of a fun guy.
It was Ethnics with an X at the end.
But I'm sure I've told this story, but he would.
We haven't talked about Ethnics in a good long time.
I had a light bulb outside my apartment door, and it was off. It was always off, and I was like, "What the fuck's with the light bulb?" And he came over one time and said, "By the way, apologies about your porch light. I unscrew it at night because when the light is on, the children next door play." When the light is, I'm not making that up. He said, when the light is on, the children play.
I like to steal the sunlight.
Yeah.
Because sunlight brings the children joy.
Ah, fuck.
He was called Ethnics because he referred to the people that weren't white in the neighborhood as the Ethnics. But he was kind of ethnic himself, no?
He was certainly
He had some swarth.
If whiteness was his idol, he was a naughty boy. That brings the racist out in me when when racist people are proud of their race, and I'm like, well, okay. All right, buddy. All right. Anyways, what was that? Okay, I was trying to turn on my thing. Sorry, I got really fired up about that. All I wrote was doggy no sign. I didn't know I was that mad.
I wonder what. I would love to go, and I also hate to go inside their home because there would be lots of rules.
Oh man. Yeah,
there'd be lots of Post-it notes for the housekeeper and stuff like that.
Have you been to passiveaggressivenotes.com? Is that still a thing? Passive aggressive notes.
I like the sound of it.
That's so great. Yeah, it's a total rabbit hole. Because it's just it's every time at the office or an apartment building, people that leave. I've been one of these people. I think we all have as part of the appeal of it. It's this grody part of you that at one time in your life, at some point, you've left a weird long note to strangers, or a roommate, and you're just in a weird time in your life, or you haven't learned shame yet, or you. But it's just there's always, sometimes you just see these notes when you remove the clothes from the dryer, make sure the lint trap is clean, and we don't have your lint getting into our lint. The problem is it's just this diatribe, and it's just so much intensity.
I got a note on my car one time, and it wasn't my best parking job of all time, but it was the best I could do. And I'm a firm believer that I'll get out of my car and look, and if I can use less space, I'll back it up to the very edge of the curb. I use all the space I can. One time I didn't, and I got a note that was clearly a copy. This person had a stack of those notes. It was a form letter to gentleman or madam. It was. It was like that person just goes around doing that, and I kind of dig it because I like.
What do you?
I want better parking. I want people to use the space, but also don't have a fucking glove box full of.
The idea that what's standing between you and happiness is other people is like something that all of the assholes that never have to interact with you because they paid enough money to not have to, they're laughing all the way to the bank. Well, you and I are sitting there going like, could you please put your left shoe where the right shoe goes, because otherwise the thing won't go across the divider and it's very irritating. I was like, they've got us trained to police ourselves. Well, the cops.
I have a guy. I don't know where he lives. I do know that about 2 years ago, maybe more, I just kept hearing at strange hours of the night and the day, distant clarinet noodling. And I thought, okay, somebody's got a clarinet. They're learning. Maybe there's a kid taking clarinet lessons. But it was kind of klezmer-y, like kind of Fiddler on the Roofy, like it was kind of. And you could never fucking figure it out. And then you could hear it moving, like okay, somebody's walking the streets. And like it's fucking 3 a.m. And I would turn all the lights out and look, but there's not enough street light on my street. And I would see a figure, like a Sasquatch, going by, and I could see a huddled, like just a silhouette going by. So now what he's done, he's taken up in a red SUV, and he parks on my street every 3 days, which I take to mean he has other streets he goes to where he's scattering that out and spreading it out, and I've always heard it, and like just all of a sudden there'll be a. And he parks right behind my office window at my place. And I heard a jogger come to the street and go, "Hey, bro, play clarinet a lot?" There was some guy went to his window. A jogger came to his window. He just sits in the car, and I think my guess is he has a wife or a roommate or something like that. He's an older guy with gray hair. Also, the clarinet has awesome, like, Steven Tyler ribbons hanging off it.
Wait, now he's not a silhouette.
No. I've caught him in the daylight. I've seen him in the daylight. But I tried to get the phone out and get footage, but he just evaporates. He's a mystical being. And now he sits across the street from my place, and I can see him from my window, but there's just enough reflection off the glass today. I can't get an image of him. And
what if it turned out to be old you?
I would.
What if you took a picture and it was like there was a reflection and you took it to like a detective and he's like enhance and it was like fucking you with like long gray hair and the clarinet had like futuristic like microchips on it or something. It was
he's certainly that mythological. So I have these new neighbors and they came in. They're from England. She was like, do you frequently hear clarinet playing, or am I going mad? I'm like, no, like look across the street in the red SUV. It's so good. I don't want him to go away, but there's a jogger came up and completely just gave him shit. I think he lives nearby. I think he's pretending. This guy was like a jockey kind of guy. I think he pretended to
go jogging.
I think he lives right there, and then like went way around and jogged up to him. I live way across town, but it was weird playing clarinet all the time. Right. And I wanted to go shoot that guy.
Yeah, I lived in my first one-bedroom apartment in Hollywood. The guy right next door to me was like definitely. I'm not exaggerating. He was morbidly obese, like by the legal definitions, because you would have like there was a van that would come pick him up whenever I had to go eat or teach physics. I don't want to get all PJ O'Rourke about it. I'm not going to assume he was on the dole, but it seemed to me from because for a year I listened to him and he was this amazing voice. He was like an opera singer, and every once in a while he'd have somebody over that would obviously had fallen for some kind of singing lesson thing. So he's like teaching people to sing. He has an amazing like voice. Like it was like this. He would like sing opera at the top of his lungs, and I was like, oh, this is like a Robert Altman film. Like there's an opera singer next door to me. It's like I kind of like I would tune it out, and then every once in a while he would yell at the handicap van because they were late. He had like this rage-a alcoholism like thing, and he was not a perfect guy to live next to her, but it's like for like at least like let's say a year went by that I lived in that place. It was just like, oh, that guy does that. It was like singing like South Pacific and stuff. Like you just hear like weird like snatches of South Pacific or
my favorite music.
Like West Side Story or something. A really good voice. I think it might have been different if he wasn't like a good singer, but. And then one day, just like up from upstairs in the 6-unit building, and just like after like 20 minutes of him, after a year of this, and then like all of a sudden upstairs, you just hear, "Shut up, you fat bastard!" It was a Scottish guy, which distracts you because it's the Mike Myers reference, but I remember the guy said, "You fat bastard," and he had a Scottish accent and lived upstairs, and then the guy just immediately went silent, and I never heard him again. I was like, yeah. It was like, well, he is a fat bastard, and he, I guess he's, but like, so I just want to say this about that. So okay, so like. You live in an apartment building. It's like guess what? You live with other people. So they clomp, 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 and the toop, toop, toop. And the Tuesday night she does this, and the Wednesday night he vacuums, and this guy's a serial killer, or this guy like sniffs your laundry. And it's called living with other people. It's like it's a thing that they have done to us as part of a class system. When you're poor, you share property with other people that you don't even own. So. What would be a really dangerous thing to happen in that case? Is everybody getting along? But they call them apartments. Think about it. And everyone just sits there for 30 years of their life going, like, trying to act like their goal is to turn their life into, like Hugh Hefner's life, even though they're still living in a fucking building that they share with a bunch of poor people. It's like because we're so trained to hate each other for being poor. So we go like, what do you do? You know, when you put your chocolate bars on the thing, this is your neighbor. This is like your closer person than your family. Like you buy a house, motherfucker. Like, which is what we all want to do. We all can't wait to like get behind some big gate with a heart-to-heart logo on it and just like sit up there and fucking like. And that's when you go insane and you end up like abducting women and keeping them prisoner and and
building cedar enclosures for your trash cans.
And the truth is that this is life. I mean, the guy that's stomping above you, that's it. This is as much. That's it. This is your family. This is your life. All right. I'm not saying you have to love it. I'm just saying like by the time you don't have it anymore, you're going to be powerless against it. Like you're going to be powerless against anything that actually makes you unhappy, which is the fucking landlord who's collecting your rent. He lives by himself. All right. I just wanted to make one point.
This is the special Get Off My Lawn episode of Harmontown.
Erin and I were talking about dicks on the way over here, and because there's a guy in England who's drawing dicks next to potholes, then they're calling him Wanksy because, and then. But then the potholes get filled because in England, like I guess, like a penis on the street is like they're like, oh, governor, and they fill up the pothole. So like in England that works. I don't know if it'll work in LA, but and I was saying like, well, in LA you'd probably have to at least it would have to be like a swastika made of dicks,
or vice versa.
And Erin said, why don't you ever see a swastika made of dicks? And I said, I guess because you're usually in two different moods. When they really are far removed. There's like the doodling and there's anything's a dick, and then there's that urge to like assemble the Rhineland and conquer all of humanity. You're just never in the same mood at the same time. Like Hitler wasn't like I love dicks.
I'm almost certain if you Google right now swastika made of dicks or dicks made of swastikas or whatever, there's images of that.
Or just dick swastika. Yes, of course. There'll be like 500 of them. It was just I just thought we were both very funny in the car right over here. That's all. All right. So I check. Is our friend here? Did he ever pop by? Do we have any of our friends here? Well, Curtis said he was coming tonight. Is why I'm asking. Okay.
Do we have Curtis in the house?
Yeah.
No Curtis? Sorry, everybody.
He usually pops by around 9. Yeah. All right.
Delights deferred.
Okay. Well, I'm wearing my colors for my wife's basketball team tonight. This is the Lisa's, which is designed by Hannah's not she's in the front row. Hannah Nance, our longtime Armenian and brilliant graphic designer, designed these shirts. And she's also doing the illustration for Emily Gordon's book. So I'm just putting a string around my finger. We should have Emily Gordon on the show.
We should. We are wasting like somebody that should have been on the show a long time ago. I think like she'd be fascinating.
She's almost a victim of like how close she is to because it was literally her idea for me to do the podcast.
Yeah.
Like she suggested it. It's like, so whenever I see her in the email, she's always just going like, do you have any names for the guest list? And I just like think of, but like never thinking like, oh, Emily Gordon would be an amazing
Why don't
guest.
we just say next week let's have her on? Oh, no, we're going to be in Portland, right?
I think next week we're in Portland.
Maybe she will be too. We'll see.
Well, Steve Levy, are you here? Yeah. Put it on. Put Emily Gordon on your list. Put Andy Kindler on your list.
PJ O'Rourke.
I'm gonna start doing like a regular podcast, having Steve Levy.
Andy
like
Kindler,
book,
I fucking
book guests.
love Andy.
Andy Kindler's a funny.
By applause, who knows Andy Kindler? Holy fuck! I've one of the funniest days of my life because that guy's so bloody fucking funny. He, for some reason he likes the Lakers or used to. I sat next to him at his girlfriend's apartment up in the valley like many years ago. And I watched him watch a Laker game, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, because he's a stand-up comic who's just giving the Lakers shit. He's tremendously funny.
He's an LA treasure, and is funnier than any. If you see him do stand-up, I saw him do a show one time. He was going to what's the Aspen, like the big thing there where the comics go, and I guess it was Aspen, right? In the old days when there was a thing called holding deals and development deals for actors, that's all gone away. Like unless you're like Steve Buscemi or bigger, like they used to give like up and coming comics this $500,000 to go. Don't go to ABC. You work for CBS, and we're going to put you on a show. And if we don't, you still get $500,000. So the big back when every comic was getting shows, like your Ray Romano's and Drew Carey's and stuff like that, and then way after that, he was doing a show at Igby's, which is a comedy club I think that's gone now on the West Side, and they told him, do your set. Do not riff. Do not go off script. Just it's all the top brass, all the big companies and networks are going to be at your show, and you're going to go to Aspen. Just do your thing. And he made a reference that someone goes like, "What's that?" Someone just yelled out, didn't get the reference, and he never got back to his material, and absolutely crucified the entire audience. Because they were West Side tight asses and didn't fucking dig it and right wing, and he fucking just laid it on them. And then he goes forget momentum, forget forward progress, madam. Anytime you don't understand anything I say, please, or anybody, just pipe in and ask me what that means. I'd hate to see you at a Dennis Miller concert. And then he did 40 minutes on he hates Dennis Miller. And the crowd was abject silence, except for the 7 comics in the back of the room who were losing our minds. I mean, he's really,
he's
you
my
hear
hero.
The phrase "comics comic." I mean, he really is somehow. I don't know if he'd be offended by me saying this. He jokes about it all the time, but I think it's notable about his career and I put heavy air quotes around the word success. Very heavy air quotes, because that's the point of his existence that's proven out. Is you would say at a glance, success eludes him. Like as in he hasn't had a shitty sitcom yet. He hasn't embarrassed himself grappling for an attempt to be one of those household names. I don't know if it's because of that's why I want to talk to him. I don't know if that's his own choice. I don't know if he sabotages himself. I don't know if unconsciously that's nobility, or if it's just happy coincidence that he's. I don't know if he's if that opportunity never comes to him.
If Andy had his way, he would be on TV and in movies, guaranteed. But he's so funny. He would do a thing at the Just for Laughs in Montreal where he would do a giant show called the State of the Industry Address. And he would just talk about what's being picked up and what's not. And it's fucking magic.
I think there's always this intersection. I'm always talking about, I hate this, institutionalized comedy concept. Comedy's very popular now. So it's and I'm sorry, I'm going to slit my own throat by saying sometimes when I see ads for Jimmy Fallon with a politician who's going to come out and play tug-of-war with him, I'm just this isn't comedy's role in the world. This is not what we're supposed to be doing. How do I even know what we're doing is funny anymore? If the
shows like
ideas
that
just
should
to
be hosted by people such as Andy Kindler and Jeremy Kramer and Greg Proops and people
and
like that.
comedy should always be separate from success. It should always be separate from politics. It should always be profane. It should always be the other thing. It should because otherwise you cannot guarantee that it's funny and that as funny as it could be, and you cannot like I don't even know. It's like I'm always like ranting about this behind closed doors. I feel like it's actually like career suicide for me to like, I can't even fully like talk about it because I would say so much shit that it would just people already don't like me. But I just think like comedy doesn't have to be dark and it doesn't have to be toxic. It doesn't have to be hateful, but it has to be suspicious of authority. Yeah, it has to hate everything that's popular. It cannot just come out and say, this popular thing's coming out, but what if this popular thing played peekaboo with me? Peekaboo! That can't be comedy. That cannot be comedy. There's no way. That just doesn't make any sense to me. And so, and I feel like Andy kind of represents like the intersection of those roads where you can get some investigation done because he is truly funny, and it seems like the reason all comics love him and like always kind of trust him and fear him and why he's never able like he never shoots up and rings the dumbbell, like at the carnival where it's like boom, Andy Kindler and the WBs just talk about daddies. It never gets to that point. I have a feeling it's because he's too, like, whether it's genetic or unconscious or by choice, he's too committed to being funny.
Yeah.
And it won't allow for that. Like you couldn't put Bill Hicks in a sitcom.
There's not a drawer that he goes right into, like on TV and stuff like that.
But I oversold him, so now he'll come on the show and he'll be like, yeah, he's just going to yell at you guys for being young. That's what I do, too.
There was an amazing show, like many, many, many years ago. It was all the indie comics, like mostly San Francisco people. It was called Hacks, Hacks, Hacks. And everyone came up and did their favorite hack style of comedy. Like Dave Anthony came out as the fat comic who only talked about how fat he was. Like he stuffed his shirt, and his name was Joey Sandwiches. And the immortal and wonderful and passed away sadly, Warren Thomas is one of the greatest comics of all time. He did the Hack Def Comedy Jam comic, and it was fucking magical. And Andy Kindler did the most abstruse one, and I think it stole the whole show. He was the Logic comic. I was like, the comics that do, and I won't say names. There's people that still do this. And it's my least favorite kind of stand-up. Where there's a guy, there's a woman. And it lives on my block, and every time I get in my car, and she smells like piss, and she knocks on my window, and I say to her, "Mom," like that kind of thing, where they turn the tables kind of at the end. So he had like Janine Garofalo in the audience, like planted as a heckler. He's like, "You suck," and he goes, "Madam, I don't come down to where you work and knock the painting off the easel when you're creating a delicate masterpiece." And it was only for comics. God damn, it was funny. He did. There was a woman lives in my house. She raised my siblings and I, and she fed us and she put us through college. And one day I said to her, "Mom,"
All right.
and that was in the living room. Only for comics. Everybody was shitting their pants. I worship Andy Kindler. We have to have him on the show.
Yeah, we'll have him on. I also he's always on Twitter, and you wouldn't think this about him, but not an atheist. Like, and he's always getting yelled at by atheists, and so sometimes I'll jump in because he's getting he's getting drawn into some like weird thing with like atheist kids who are like, you're smart, you shouldn't believe in God and all this stuff, and I don't know, he's getting these dumb fights with dumb people and. All right, so
just hear those smash bells tingling, a ring ting tingling too. We have some sort of exotic animal back there.
That was the first time that guy ever laughed in his life. He never. He's like Sam the Eagle at work. He's like, "I said, do you have those files?" I don't know, but I got a dildo. And he's like, "Put that away. You're fired." And then he's just like walking around, and he's just like, no, I don't see the humor of this. There's a fire hydrant that's painted red, white, and blue for 4th of July. He's like, that's vandalism. I'm calling the police. And then he came here tonight, and it was something about the frequencies. Like, and now he's going to go home and like rip off his tie and dump Angelica Houston, who's playing his wife, whose father owns his company, so it's okay. You know, that whenever you need a male hero in a movie to like be free and like leave his like wife, it always has to be like her father owns the company, so that he's not like a bad guy, you know. All right. So anyway.
Yeah, and by the way, we're not shaming that laugh. We're celebrating how awesome that
of course. No, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like, everyone should laugh that heartily.
Careful. We used to think rules were that simple, and then
if we find out someone's doing a fake laugh in here, that's just.
I mean, what about that one guy? Where is he?
But that wasn't a fake. He's right there. Yours isn't a fake laugh.
No, I'm saying it's not fake. His true laugh, like one week, was like the bane of everyone's. He got a little too high, and he was just like laugh.
I love people that snort and snorkel. I like that laugh. I heard a snorkel earlier. Somebody out there does it. Who does it? Was it you? No, I wasn't pointing at you specifically.
Well, let's. She hasn't been here in a couple of weeks. Let's bring up my other half, Erin McGathy.
Erin McGathy.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for wearing my basketball team's T-shirt.
Yeah.
Looks great on you.
How's it going playing basketball?
Can you guess our record? We've played 3 games.
You won all of the games.
I know the record, so I won't guess.
We are 3 for 3 in spirit. And in kindness, and we have a mascot. We're the only team in the league that has a mascot. But we have not won a game. But we
look up Willie Roberts. He plays Teamwork the Unicorn, and it's really good.
I'm having a difficult time because you're what could be more supportable than your wife playing a local sports league?
How many games have you been to, Dan?
I haven't been to any of them, but I've been busy.
You've been working on community, but
like she comes home from practice and it's like, so not only I'm not supportive enough, but now she's coming in like sweating and the headband and the shoes and
I punch a wall when I walk in.
And then it's like, as always, you know, there's a couple Minecraft jokes because I'm always playing Minecraft. So it's like, well, now you have to step back and look at yourself. You're just a jock, like.
I don't know if that's fair.
You're not just like the wife laying in wait for me to, you know, like love you. You're like this lady coming home and going like, yeah, I got a 3-pointer. The fuck? Why don't you pick some more fruit berries?
You strong enough to hug me? Yeah,
You still sitting there playing that game, bro? That game's not gonna get you laid. Is there pussy in that game? Can you craft a pussy?
I mean, I believe I said, can you craft a dick? But it's fine. I didn't mention, you were talking about the trash bin cubbies, and you explained my theory. My shame, and I don't think I mentioned this, I saw that sign, and I just kept it quiet because I was like, oh no, they're bad people. I'm stubborn, and I don't want to lose that argument, but I saw that, and I was like, hopefully he never sees that.
But why
obviously those are shitty people.
I mean, why was it an argument? Like I was like these guys are bad guys. They got
I'm passive aggressive about the Minecraft thing. That's what it is.
Okay.
That's what it comes down
to.
I mean, if we're being honest.
You didn't want to lose an opportunity to say some people craft things in real life, and then I would have been like, yeah, these kinds of people.
Yeah, because I have this aching womb that wants you to build things. Apparently,
like in it.
I don't know. know, or around it. I mean, I'm joking, but I love the reaction that I got.
You want him to craft maybe a baby?
Yeah, make a baby in me. Make a crib around me. You show me your...
Oh, but we're in trouble. I don't think either of us knows what we're doing.
No. I know for sure I would not let anything I cared about sleep in anything you made in real life.
No, but I'm saying, like, we're supposed to build a crib around you? We can't get out to raise our child. I just want to do, I'm excited because, when the door on the back door could be smaller, right, to let the baby go out and,
Yeah, that's how it'll work. But yeah, the Lisa's basketball Tuesdays.
What's the big? Because Kate, my ex-girlfriend, is on the team, and
she's great. Her nickname is Squirrel. We all have animal nicknames because there's a whole mythology about our team. We're from a land of magical animals that lived peacefully for a very long time. Until one day our core animal, this unicorn, was kidnapped by a dark force. And we were told we would not get this unicorn back until we could prove that we could live with compassion and sensitivity and teamwork as a women's basketball team. So that is true. So there's a lot more at stake for us, and so far we will never get our unicorn back because we are over 3.
I was going to say, Coach, perfect cynical tee up for me to say, sounds like the other teams were practicing their zones while...
I mean,
you guys were in writing workshops.
I mean, literally the other team was doing that while I had a stump that we were passing around and smelling, talking about.
How many... do people show up to watch the games? Do you have a lot of followers and supporters?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say who's a supporter and who's just taking a break from their game. But
when's your next game? We should all go. We should all go.
You all should go. Our next
all of your games are always on Tuesday nights, right?
They're always on Tuesday nights. I will post an Instagram of our schedule. Our next game is in North Hollywood, and I believe at 9:00. And we're playing a team that, I don't know, loves Hitler. I can't remember.
There are some funny team names. One of them is the Princess Layups.
Yeah, there's the Princess Layups.
It's very good.
Yeah, there's the Kareem Abdul-Jababes.
There's the Badunkadunks, which I think is very good.
Yeah.
Oh, also
there's
the LA Nail Clippers is very good.
Yeah. They're all amazing team. It's really fun. It's a really fun thing to be a part of. Like all these women who haven't played sports before.
The free throw-ups.
They're all super thin, so you should see them.
It's the only one I can think of. Only dots I can connect.
Yeah. I'm doing great, except I don't know if I told you this, I was taken out of most of the game that we played on Tuesday because I hit a girl in the face twice.
Why are you cheering that?
The same girl twice. I hit in the face.
On your
and
team.
She was so gracious.
Was there some conscious rage against this girl, or was it just totally coincidental?
No, it was coincidental. I mean, my limbs are I don't know if anybody feels connected to their arms, but to me it's I tied some kites to my torso, and they'll do what they will.
So you were kicked out for fouling out, or
my coach who I co-host a podcast with, Human Conversation, new podcast. So I thought we recorded a podcast earlier in the day, Wayne Fetterman, and I was a little testy towards him during the podcast. So I thought he was taking that out on me because it happened twice where he said to the bench, "All right, everybody in except Erin." Twice he said that, where I was like, "Well, wait, really?" Is
it before you started assaulting women in the face?
No. This is after.
Okay.
Because he explained to me later, no, they're great at free throws because every time you hit somebody, there's a consequence.
That is a life lesson.
Yeah.
It's not just that it hurts them; it's that they can parlay it into points.
Yeah.
Finally, that's how to get through to you.
And I didn't mean to do it. Obviously, maybe not obviously, but I didn't mean to do it. So he was keeping me out of the game so I didn't ruin the game for us by hitting people.
You struck a nerve when you talked about your limbs, like, and your lack of control over them.
Guys, everybody, just let's all leave.
I married this woman that I just
It's going to be about hand jobs.
I know that like I just like you're so like
Majestic, beautiful, graceful.
you're so prone to
Being a magical...
organic acts of
What's the word you're looking for, Dan?
You're not allowed to call women clumsy. It's not a.
Yeah, well, you can call me clumsy.
You're like I'm so scared. I just like because she's really handy and crafty and like loves making things, and like a great gift for her would be like a table saw, but not. I sometimes think there's like that space under where the firewood is. There's a little workshop. The guy that used to own the house before that, like, he used to make airplanes down there. It's like, Erin could have a little wood shop where she could make bird feeders, but I can't do it. I can't. I live in terror that even the just a regular cabinet door or just a normal day alive. Like I just live.
Is this just because I told you about hanging out the window to hang the bird feeder?
It's nonstop. You're always like falling and like. I just like I just so like if I just can't say the words out loud.
It's okay.
If you cut your finger off, like I'm gonna and I'm not there, and then I'm like I come like.
I understand. I mean, here's the thing. Every man in my life has had this exact same speech. I mean, it's not a joke.
Well, that makes me feel better.
No, you should. I mean, from my dad to my brother to ex-lovers to princes. I have heard this speech. I do think statistically I will lose a finger at some point. I think I have to, but hopefully it won't be until later. And when it happens, I'll put it on ice and I'll make it like an afterthought. And one day I'll be cutting a cake and you'll be like, "Whoa, 4!" And I'll say, "Yes, about a year ago, I was making a bird feeder too quickly." No, I'll be careful, Dan. I'll be careful.
What was the scare with the bird feeder?
Oh, I mean, the problem is like the combination of my klutziness with my impatience, and I thought it wise to hang out of our. Dan hates it. He was so upset about this. I wanted to hang a bird feeder on a tree that was kind of near the second-story window.
Oh my God.
And I almost fell out of the window is the thing. I was like holding on to it with like 1 foot so I could hang a bird feeder.
That's just the shit that she tells me about. Like I'm telling you, she'll, like when we were first going out, like it was like okay, like I'm not. This is the one. Like I'm not trading it like for anything. It's an it. Like
I'm exhausted.
But you're the you never did it again. But then like there was a time I came home and like the oven was on and I was like, you left the oven on, and I'm like I didn't know that I had this like thing in me there. I'm like, oh God, she's gonna die. But I have like when I was your age, I was like my doors were open, windows were open, and I was just in a sea of semen and junk mail, and I was on the Atkins diet, so I would like try to charbroil burgers. One day I came home and I woke up to the smell of burning kitchen, and the kitchen was on fire, and I put it out and fuck it. So if anybody
can
had loved
promise
me
you
at
you'll
that point,
never-
they'd be very concerned.
I promise you'll never find me in a sea of semen and junk mail.
Don't. Is that a challenge?
Physical challenge. Physical challenge.
So, hey, our friend is here, Curtis Armstrong. Get him out of.
I came back.
You were under the weather last week.
I was under the weather. Nothing would have kept me away other than that.
I hope that you're telling the truth.
That's really. I'll
and
tell
yet
you,
we still communicate through direct messages on Twitter. We haven't graduated to.
I know. Well, we want to take this slowly, but what's really great about it is I came in here to publicize one time, to publicize King of the Nerds. That's why I came here.
Right.
Initially. And then you asked me to come back, which I thought was really polite, and so I thought I would come back, and then the next thing I knew, it was like I wanted to be here all the time.
Never leave us, Curtis.
That's
ever. Now, Curtis, I don't want to be presumptuous and overstep the bounds of courtesy or whatever. Dan and I knew each other. When did we meet, Harmon? In '94 or something like that? At a comedy sports festival in Milwaukee, and we
must have been 2 years old.
Yeah. and then you and Schraub and Peter Alberts came to L.A. and we would threaten to be friends. We would always say we should hang out, and we should always talk, and we'd see each other once in a while, and we'd always say we're going to hang out, we're going to be friends. It took us 4 years or more. I mean, I don't know. It took a long time. Let's not only communicate through direct messages on Twitter.
No, you're right, but I mean, it is really a funny thing because I don't want to sound fulsome or anything, but the truth is, you've got something which is really nice to come to at the end of a week. To come here and have all these people.
Not a lot of people feel that way. So if
I
you
do.
feel that way, then
it's
that's
just,
perfect because
it's been enjoyable for me. So I'm glad to be back and all that. I'm leaving again, but I'm
Where
glad
are you
to
going?
be back tonight. I'm going to England.
To visit your daughter?
I'm going to go visit.
No, you're going to go to England, but not visit your daughter.
Right.
I'm going there on business.
If she finds out I was there and didn't look her up, she'll be pissed.
I just saw Still Alice with Julianne Moore. She plays like a linguistics person.
I know,
So I thought of your daughter.
I know. That's.
I also thought of your daughter when I was.
Dan.
It's the phrase "thought of your daughter" sounds just tease you up.
No,
but
I
was going to ask, has she seen that movie? At which point I realized I'd become my grandmother.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do I care? Does she know anybody in that movie?
Yeah. All of those, yeah. The linguistics people hang out. No, she hasn't. My daughter's studying linguistics. That's why we're talking about that.
Yeah. But Julianne Moore has a thing in the first act when they're establishing her as a linguist. She's giving a speech where she kind of like covers in a cursory fashion some of that shit that we were talking about when we first talked about your daughter, when I was babbling about linguistics, which is the fact that human beings have like this weird, like we don't speak as a matter of learning it from other people.
Yeah.
But she touches on that stuff. But her character, have you guys seen that movie, Still Alice?
It's really interesting.
It's brutal.
She saw it. There's one person here who
It's a
saw
hard
the
thing to
movie.
applaud for enthusiastically.
It probably I don't know if whatever. Why don't I get it on that alley?
I mean, no, it's just. I mean, it's an interesting thing, and I have learned about linguistics as a result of my daughter. I don't even know where it came from. I mean, this was not where I thought she was going, and then suddenly.
When a man loves a woman, the man puts the penis in the vagina. Oh, sorry. That's right.
No, that's not linguistics.
That's where your daughter came from. I'm sorry.
Oh, that yes. No. You're right.
Is your wife? Has your wife ever had a serious injury? You've been with her for all these.
Has she ever had a serious injury?
Like, has she ever cut off her finger, or broken a leg, or?
I don't think so.
Dan is worried about my health. Okay.
Why? Have you been having problems? I just got here,
she has.
so I missed what was going on before.
I am naturally clumsy, but also tenacious with my handiwork.
She's very stubborn and impulsive, and
he's worried I'm going to cut off.
Like she'll decide, like I think this hat should be on top of that pile of razor blades. Like it doesn't. She doesn't like stop. Like remember when we were in that gay bar and like it was clear. It was so.
You talking to me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
There's this bar.
Dan and I have an announcement.
There was this bar in Hyperion that's closed now.
Akbar. Akbar's closed?
No, it's
the Akbar. I know that place.
Yeah.
I know that place.
They've got a piano in there, and it's one of those.
Oh, you're talking about the.
Oh no, not Akbar.
No, it was
Akbar's not a gay bar.
It was on Hyperion.
It used to be called The Other Side, which is this great old gay piano bar, and now it's called Hyperion Public. But it was a fantastic place where mostly like kind of show folky gay guys and some women would go in there and sing show tunes and pardon.
It's an unrelated satanic.
definitely sounded like an
What are you
exorcism.
saying? I'm so sorry. East.
It's
9/11.
9/11. It's 9/11.
Oh!
Sorry, young lady. Sorry.
This woman is not dressed in feathers.
It's 9/11. It's 9/11. It's 9/11. It's 9/11. Oh, because it's 9/11. That was horrifying, by the way.
Ma'am, can you say pizza with extra pepperoni?
I'm sorry, I have a weird accent.
Oh no, you're.
Where are you from?
I love your accent.
Switzerland. Well, guten Abend. I don't know how you say it, but how do you say welcome? Willkommen. Huh? Say it's 9/11 in your most ominous Swiss accent.
I don't have a Swiss accent.
What would you call your accent?
Shitty. All right.
But we were right about Switzerland, though, right?
Yeah. All right. So Dan and I are in a gay bar.
I mean, this is just tangent. I'm just saying, like, here's the thing, like, we're at this, like, it was a great place. It's changed ownership now, but it was a great place to drink, piano, like, if you've been to one of these bars where, like, it's like the gay guys go and they sing. It's not karaoke. Like, they got to know their shit. They're like competitive with each other, and it's like,
but super supportive and very fun. And a lot of people were really bummed out when it closed down because it was a great place.
And it's not a place where you go. And I've fallen for it. Like, we go like, you should go up and sing "Father Figure" by George Michael. But it's like you go up and like, no, just like, do you have the sheet music? I'll pull it up on my phone. And they're like, okay, and I'm like, I'll be your father figure. And they're like, yeah, sit down. So it's not karaoke. It's like it's a different thing. And so
you have to know the key it's
we
in.
went there with
and,
Erin,
yeah.
and I had been through that experience, and we were having a good time. And Erin's like, I want to sing a thing, and I'm like, I'm just letting you know, it doesn't work that way. It's never going to work that way. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It'll be terrible. It can't work that way. It won't happen that way. Can't work that way. It's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it anyway. And then she just did it anyway. I'm tired. And then you went up and you sang "Dream a Little Dream." It was all horrible. It was terrible. I loved you 10 times more. But at the moment, I was like, I'm gonna love this person for the rest of my life. But she, like, I can't control her. She's got it's just like that feeling, that terror. Like our couples therapist, we're so fucked up. We have to I have to hold her hand and like on the couch. It's like it's called Sensate 1. Like she's like just hold her hand. It's like an exercise. It's like, Dan, just focus on holding her hand. And I like hold her hand, and she's like, what are you thinking about? And I just burst into tears. I'm just like, I'm thinking, because what I'm thinking is, one of us is going to die first. Is what this means. One of us is going to die first. And it's either going to be her or me, which is even worse. I won't even get to to go to a funeral. No, it's just like when you're in love, when you love someone. That is what the meaning of that whole Campbellian journey is in my mind. Is it's you think you own life, you think that you're a native of it, so you've conjoined with another person. Well, guess what that means? The price now gets paid, and I just these anxieties just rise up in me. I just I can't stop thinking of these me coming home and you're on the floor and there's a stump where your hand was and there's a half-finished bird feeder and you're I'm not kidding. I
promise it will be better than a bird feeder.
And I know it's you can't. I'm just. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't want to even go into what you're talking about because it'll get so much darker when I talk about it. I mean it. Yeah. I do completely understand it. I've been going through that for a while.
Because then there's the romantic... there's a romantic notion of, it's hilarious. That's like Game of Thrones. Someone's hands cut off. I'm like a child. I'm like a child conjuring these things up. Guess what life is? God cutting off more than your hand, piece by piece, until the fucking last crouton he pops in his mouth and goes, I give this shitty planet 4 stars. Your pain was delicious. I loved every drop of your little baby fingers. All of your cancer. I love your war and genocide. I need a second bib. I don't want to mess up my star shirt. I'm God. I'm an asexual food critic from the center of the cosmos. That's what God is. He's like a terrible food critic. Yeah.
But a great T-shirt. Dan, I promise I will be more careful.
That's why I got to get you pregnant so that you're that's like a Post-it note, right? You're about to reach for the razor blades and you're like, wait a minute. A fixable Harmon's in here.
Wait, a fixable Harmon?
Come on, let's face it. Yeah. Come on. Why do you really? Come on. What are you really looking most forward to? It's like a little me, but you can be like, get over yourself, and he'll be like, okay.
I think that's a very, very telling.
What if it's a woman?
Deucean way to look at.
What if it's a daughter?
If it's a daughter,
then he will never meet her. He will never know. It'll be a Sleeping Beauty type situation.
If Erin has a daughter, it'll be removed from the hospital. I'll be handed a bundle of sticks that I will raise.
You'll be handed back your laptop with with swaddling clothes around the. Just kidding. But the idea of it being a fixable you is so disgusting and upsetting.
And funny.
No, I'm enjoying all of it. It's so funny.
And poignant. Yeah.
We'll have, when we have a baby, I'll bring him here and I'll have everyone in the audience give the baby a gift like Sleeping Beauty. And I give the gift. And then Adam Goldberg will be the last one and he'll be like, on your 14th birthday. You were one to heckle a show. But there will be no shows. And then you will die.
We should we should bring out DeMorge and Spencer. Yeah!
DeMorge Brown, Spencer Crittenden.
I could use that space. Right? That's not a status move. You're not like, he keeps putting his sweatshirt on my table. I know what he means.
What do you mean?
This is my show.
Oh. I mean, it is.
Yeah, but it's your... When we bring you out, it's your world now.
You could put like a note saying it's my show on the table.
So that I don't put my sweatshirt on?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just you're right. Like, you don't have to be so vague about it. You could be a total bright red neon sign that says, "Hey, fuck you, Spencer, my show." I wouldn't bat an eye.
Right. You could, Spencer, you could put a little plastic sign that says Dan, and putting a sweatshirt down and says no.
I feel like I don't have that authority.
Spencer, have you ever left a note on somebody's car or door or anything to lay down the law?
No, I mean, one time I left a note to my brother about laundry, but that's the only thing. I mean, he's like a roommate kind of, or he was at the time when I was living with my parents.
Are you living alone now, or you have a roommate now?
I live with a roommate named Jackson, but I just kind of implode with conflicts with him, you know?
Not going well?
No, I'm just all like, oh, I guess, he left the front door unlocked. I guess I'll just, just sit here and stew. And then,
you're not
fine.
an extrovert. That's what you got to get your own place.
Everything's. Yeah, I do.
You got to pay me more.
No, I get enough. I just haven't found any good places lately. I've been looking.
DeMorge, how about you? Are you a note leaver or that kind of like?
No, I'm a direct contact person. I will say to you, let's talk, and then I'll just lay it out. That's the easiest, quickest way.
I got a note on my
notes.
I got a really confusing note on my door yesterday, and like a giant piece of purple paper and like written in Sharpie, and it was, "Hey, I'm gonna watch the fight, the Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight, and we're gonna be in the garage area. Signed Terry. I don't know fucking Terry." I don't know who Terry is.
Do you know the garage area?
I think come on by, stop by. You're welcome. Come one, come all. Bring BYOB. I was like, I think that what that was, it was a neighbor saying, "You now don't have the right to complain about my noisy party."
That's exactly what it was.
I thought what that was is like aliens, like that's the equivalent of duck calls, like aliens that don't know our language. And they're just like, they're imitating certain words, and they're just like leaving a trail of notes like that to like an alien lair where they just gobble people up. So they don't know what they're saying. They're just like, free beer. They just like, they're like amalgamating with their alien technology.
Yeah.
They're like,
X marks the spot.
Free beer, Skittles, Tony's. It's like the equivalent, because when we're going duck hunting, you see those guys going wah wah wah, like what are they saying? Like to a duck? Like I bet most of the time to a duck they're like Larry, Skittles, dirt, fuck, enemy, Skittles, and so the ducks are like, I think that's probably a hunter, but then every once in a while they kind of nail it. They're like, oh, it's Amy. Oh, it's Amy. I think Amy's over there. She sounds good.
Have you guys ever partied with Larry Skittles?
Or Amy the duck.
It's a lot of fun. What's to do with this fight?
Did you ever see that Gary Larson cartoon
where
we
have to talk about the goddamn fight?
Let me talk about this Gary Larson cartoon.
Because some terrible.
It's one of my favorite Far Sides.
Okay.
It's just like it's two muggers, and then there's like this guy who's like it's not a guy. It's like this like reptile like monster with a trench coat on, and its tail is coming out the bottom of its trench coat, and it has like this Halloween mask of a human face over it and a hat on, and it's like clearly like a foreboding terrible monster, and the caption is, "Yes, I would like a knuckle sandwich." That's great because just in that fleeting moment, like just one image and one caption, you're like, "This is awesome!" Like yeah. All right.
When I'm not a big boxing fan, I don't really care. But a friend of mine had a party. It's fun to go watch a big thing. And it's a big
Terry?
I did not go to Terry's. I was.
The end of that story was you going.
I'm almost certain if I show up at whoever Terry's. Also, it didn't say where the fucking place was. It didn't say. It just said Terry. That person knows I don't know who they are. That's just saying if you hear noise, fuck you. I left a note. When Manny Pacquiao came out, behind him was Jimmy Kimmel dressed like Run DMC for some reason, and he was behind him like when they come out with the entourage and they're coming out. Behind him is Jimmy Kimmel, who's being very good at finding his camera. And so he's behind Manny Pacquiao. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. Was Manny Pacquiao on the Jimmy Kimmel show a lot? I don't know.
We're all on Jimmy Kimmel show at any given time.
The cynical part of me said, okay, that maybe whatever network he's on, is Viacom, whatever the fucking thing, like they have a big stake in this. Or that's just Jimmy Kimmel being hilarious. That idea goes out the window when Mayweather comes out, and I'm not fucking with you if you haven't seen this. The fucking Burger King guy, the scary, the king with the fucking horrifying Burger King mask. And he's walking up behind Floyd Mayweather. Burger King!
I was crying
that
all
is
the way to the ring.
craziest goddamn shit I've ever seen. And also, Floyd Mayweather was dressed like a Persian prostitute from the 90s. He had some weird python, like it was made of snake. I think it was python. Wow. That's really a weird new direction for fights to go, where the Burger King dude is coming out behind him.
Wait, for the actual Burger King? I don't.
The king with the big helmet.
I mean, no one's the actual Burger King.
I made it 42 years.
Sorry, sweetie.
That's all right. On one hand, I had the magic, but on the other hand, I was obeying a lot of laws that didn't make sense. A lot of which were super unfair to women. Like that whole regime is like, don't give unto a woman the patties that would have more cheese for a man, and sire the seed unto the extra onions. It's a lot of cryptic Aramaic shit. The actual Burger King guy, like it was a promotion.
You know the commercial where the guy has the mask on and he's in bed with your wife all of a sudden. He never scares everybody to death, and he's got that weird smiling visage. The Burger King character,
like the modern ironic Burger King,
big head like Jack in the Box.
It's a giant man's face. Kind of a roguish, kind of charming smile on his weird face. He was walking out behind Floyd Money Mayweather, who's one of the most universally unlikable human beings.
So Jimmy Kimmel is the Coke to Burger King's Pepsi? Like he was like on the other side?
Yeah.
Yes. So there's just like two boxers with two corporate sponsors, one of which is Jimmy Kimmel.
I would like to live in this universe, because Floyd Mayweather is notoriously a terrible person.
Well, come on. He beat his wife. Give him a break.
That's true.
Give him a break. It takes a lot of balls.
I forget who said it, but some comic, I forget who it was, someone I follow on Twitter who are mostly comedians, said, rooting for Floyd Mayweather is like rooting for Rocky if he was fighting Adrian. I don't know who wrote that, but that was very funny. So I would like to live in a world where Jimmy Kimmel goes, hey, Manny Pacquiao, like you came on my show one time. It'd be pretty funny if I was dressed like Run DMC and come out behind you, and he was like, got the gold chain, because it was Run DMC.
I feel like that was because, and he was there also last night behind Mayweather. Bieber walks out with
Justin
Mayweather.
Bieber.
So Bieber was there as well.
It was Bieber and Burger King.
I feel like that might have been Kimmel saying, "Hey man, who do you have behind you? Let me be the guy behind you."
I hope so.
May I ask a question? If everybody understands this, I can fuck off. But what is the purpose of this? Like, what is the? Is it just like,
you punch the other person until they stop?
Why was this such a big deal? Like, what is the? Because it seemed like this was like a big, like, culturally important thing.
Normally, when boxers are announced, they come out and they have an entourage with them. They're trained.
But why are they fighting each other? So one is
for
one gets to beat the other one, or like what? $100 million.
Floyd Mayweather made $180 million to fight a guy that he knew he was
just on the fight. Then other stuff he made
Sweetie,
twice.
Are you asking about boxing in general? Are you saying? Like,
I'm asking less about boxing in general, the sport. And like I said, I can totally fuck off. But I mean, like this big fight where I see on Drew Barrymore's Instagram, she's like, "It's fight night," and I'm like, Drew, what? Why are we?
I think that's just
these big events.
If you live long enough, you'll see that happen every 8 years. I think 8 years ago.
Okay, so it's like 8 years.
They
So
put it on
what had
pay-per-view.
to happen for this to be
It's a
like
big hype
these
factory.
guys are
pay-per-view.
their promoters are both getting very rich.
Well, they're
or
famous.
they probably have the same
they're
promoter.
famous
they're both
boxers.
number one, and then okay.
They're just famous boxers, and they're like, oh, who do we want to get people to buy tickets for? How about the two most famous guys we can think of?
These
Done.
things, pay-per-view, the money is like beyond anything. I'm not even sure why. I guess because you can't do pay-per-view football because I guess what it is that the sports leagues, they have this whole tournament thing set up. So whereas boxing, two guys beating each other up, you can arrange one event around
I
it.
ask us half jokingly, does it make you hard? Like
I don't. I've never.
Wait, why do you play sports now, though? I mean, it's just sports.
No, but there's sports, and then there's like.
It's
I mean,
just
you don't
sports.
say no, but with like sports, you don't say like we got okay. This is gonna
Look,
be embarrassing. We don't have Shaquille O'Neal.
As a
and,
person who doesn't give a shit about any sports,
kinda
I
do.
mean, the one of the few that makes sense in big air quotes is like, okay, let's fucking like, who are we kidding? Like fine, let's say,
Because like you said, it's every
let's
8
stop
years.
shooting each other looks. The weird way that guys can be mean to each other, the whole hierarchy that we live under, like the idea of two of them getting into a ring and literally being told one of you leaves, the other one doesn't. Yeah, there's padding everywhere and all this stuff, and there's all these rules, but it's like I don't watch boxing, I don't watch any sports, but like what the fuck's the difference between that and football? It's like that you just spread it out into team play and stuff, but what do you mean?
Right,
It's
I
like
get-
this is
yeah.
what guys are like, always thinking. It's like
I mean,
I'm
obviously,
gonna
it's valuable
punch your
in some way.
face.
A
I'm
lot
gonna
of
punch your
people like
face.
it.
I'm gonna punch your face.
Oh my God, Dan, you're getting hard right now. I can see.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I remember being a kid and two kids getting in a fight, and it's always like, I don't know, it's always what's in the air. There's like something that has to be paid attention to, though, is like the idea is like everyone's supposed to be scared of getting beaten up. Everyone's supposed to be scared of a fist hitting you in the face. That's what guys live under. Is like, oh, maybe I'll beat you up. Maybe I'll beat you up. Like it's always like unspoken and in the air.
These boxing fights just feel like Coliseum stuff.
It
Well,
hasn't
they are.
changed.
Right, but they
Of
also
course it feels like
they
Coliseum
also
stuff. It feels-
train, and they're also
Of course,
and there is
yeah, and
science.
they're the best
There
at
is
their-
science. and
Yeah,
there is conditioning
absolutely.
behind
But
it. So it's
like,
not,
but I believe less in the science when Jimmy Kimmel is wearing a hot dog on his head or whatever.
well, that's the problem with the business of boxing as opposed to the sport of boxing. What we saw last night was
Right, and this is all about the business
In its
of
execution
boxing.
was, I guess, both in a way. We saw the execution of the business of boxing, the way that played out, all the way through, all the way around. But in it, those guys actually had to choreograph sort of what they were doing to make that pay off. It was really, really odd how in the 6th or 7th round, the announcers all uniformly started criticizing Pacquiao for not fighting as much as he would have, even though Mayweather never came out and tried to attack him. Mayweather ran away the entire fight. And
Oh,
it
you
was sort of
think
they
that
were-
whole thing was really? I mean, I'll believe.
Well,
it.
I don't know. I think that in that outcome that they had, everybody wins. In other words, Pacquiao,
Yeah.
whether Pacquiao
Whereas
wins or loses,
we have seen the business model fail when somebody comes out and does arguably what the greatest boxer in the world should do, Mike Tyson, which is go literally, and like the other guy just goes down and it's over, and everyone goes, "Yay, boo!" I want my money back, I guess.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They do.
so I would believe
and then
you.
and then this way, sort of Mayweather. If Mayweather had lost that fight, everybody who hates him, which is almost everybody, would have pulled him down and said, "Well, no, he's never going to be amongst the greatest fighters in the world." Now that question is still in the air because he won that fight.
If he wins one
got-
more, he says if he wins one more fight, he will tie the greatest record, Jake LaMotta's record of 49-0. And if he does that, he's going to.
LaMotta fought some of the best fighters available in the world.
Yeah.
Mayweather had nothing to pick from. And when he did have somebody to fight, and you want to know why this was so hyped and such a big deal, for 5 to 6 years, Mayweather refused to fight him. for weird reasons, like he opposed
Not enough Burger King.
He opposed the type of blood testing because he claimed that he was afraid of having a needle stuck in his arm. Some weird shit like this. He made every excuse he could to avoid fighting Pacquiao until now, when they're both 5 years past the time when they should have fought
Erin,
each
one
other.
thing's for sure. I went out. You asked, like, does it get you hard? What it does is it creates a sea of violence. And there's some statistic of the amount of domestic violence that happens after major boxing bouts and Super Bowls and stuff. Yeah. I went out afterwards to the drawing room, and there was just a general frisson of just violence in the air. Not like there was fights starting, but everybody was just talking about, when I was a kid, I'd fucking boom, I got a black eye. Everyone's telling stories.
I would fucking boom them. Is that what you said?
I just said a bunch of gibberish in a row.
Yeah. But I like that. I would fucking boom them.
But there was I was like, I got to get out of here because there was just generally like kind of a weird, like hostile testosterone.
Yeah, it gets.
Well, even just thinking about it fills me with testosterone. I'm probably wrong, but I feel like I could beat Floyd Mayweather.
I mean, let's all get on the same page. I obviously all organized sports, especially including gladiatorial combat between two guys who undoubtedly would inspire in a normal world like everyone else's like fealty behind like a possibly subversive army. Like all of this shit is exercises in pacifying jingoism. You get the people that you hear in bars that are just like, yo, baby, yo, baby, like those guys. That's all White House burning energy just going down the drain, down the drain into fucking Toys R Us, just down into diaper funds. Boy, yeah, baby, yeah. All those guys are like biologically meant to be the guys carrying the spears at the fronts of like armies that are still settling who gets to sow their seed across the planet. Now we have this empire where we're all sitting here sucking on pacifiers. How are we going to keep these people from like going like, look, I'm not smart. I don't get Mr. Show. Fuck this! I've never seen Better Off Dead. I don't get it. I like those guys are fucking either in prison or they're working on Wall Street, and you give them the occasional basketball game so that they can pound the table and the hot wings can fly in the air. And all the energy that they'd otherwise use to maybe storm the castle or just be like hanging out in an alley. What else would they do with that energy? Politically, they'd have nothing to do but like conspire. It's like you organize sports, especially when it's two fucking hulking dudes who are like what do you respect more than a guy that can beat up another guy, and like to turn them into property, to turn them into the lowest of the low, while shining the spotlight on them and collecting money that scatters to the floor around them as their blood flows.
God,
and they're beating each other, and they're fucking like they live horrible lives.
You're getting me hard, Dan.
Sorry, I don't want to belittle the art of beating the shit out of anybody, but
well, you should. I mean, it's like,
no, I know. I mean, like
the thing is, like you're asking, like, well, like I don't know. I guess
I know,
the insecure part
requires...
of me wanted you to know. Yeah, I know this is fucking stupid.
No, but like I understand. I'm not saying I don't understand like the art of boxing. I mean, it doesn't matter. But I took boxing for a while. A lot of you don't know. See, my instructor is here, and he's like, I remember when she was there. They called me Red, and I did boxing.
When was this? How long ago was this?
I did it after high school, and I did it right before I met you in Atlanta. I did boxing and kickboxing. Kickboxing. And I held my ears, and I did a whole thing.
Well, then you know why boxing's neat. All right, next topic.
No, but I mean, yeah, and we're moving
us.
on. No, I'm not saying. I understand why the sport is important. What I was wondering was why this fight in particular was important, and DeMorge explained
every decade there's like a pay-per-view event. Like that's what it is.
Whatever Drew Barrymore does, I get it.
Always disappointed to see my friend, whatever. But I mean, like, all my friends are jocks. Who cares? Everyone loves sports. The sports are great. Suck my dick. All right.
But didn't you say that you went to J.D. Riznar's to do a thing and you watched the Super Bowl and you dug it? Like you got.
Of course, if you sit me down and I was like, yeah.
If sit you down and give you a T-shirt.
I would watch all kinds of lady basketball. Yeah.
Are you going to go to a game, Harmon? Are you going to go?
Of course I'm going to go to a game. I'm a good husband. Shut up.
I can't go this Tuesday, Erin, so I'm doing another thing, but I want to come to a game.
Great.
What thing?
Please come. You're hanging out with your friend Terry, right?
No, I'm hosting a show called Lucha Vavoom downtown.
That already happened.
I can't go this Tuesday because I'm speaking on a writers panel at UTA with the creator of Blackish because some people consider me a writer-thlete.
What?
Some people think that I slam dunk pieces of paper.
Yeah.
What would some say you punch?
3 holes in the paper?
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
It's good.
That's a good
But
answer.
we only use 2 for the Brads, just so you know. That's a big question on the writers' boards.
You only put
Why
the
not 3 Brads?
top and bottom?
2 Brads, yeah.
Why the third one is
Don't use the third Brad.
Do you still use Brads?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you have an optimum length when you're choosing Brads, Dan? Like, do you have a certain kind of?
I find that for dramas, I use a Magnum, and then for comedies, like you don't want to send the feeling that you wish the script was longer, so you use a micro. That's it. There's no way that could have paid off. Let's not. I'm
When was
worried
the
now.
last time you-
Curtis is going to go home tonight. He's going to be like, you know what, honey? I don't think I'm going back. I don't like it. I spoke too soon. I'm glad I kept communicating through Twitter with him, so he doesn't have my number. Just last night, it was the tipping point. I was like, we didn't play enough Shadowrun. All right, we should get to it, right?
Should we play some Shadowrun, everybody? No, okay. I just saw a splendid moment from our audience. Speaking of sports, there's a guy wearing a Mets shirt here, and not you, Dave Klein. There's a guy wearing a Mets shirt. What's your name? Tim. He's wearing a Mets shirt, and we said, "Do you want to play some Shadowrun?" And he put both fists in the air and went, "Yes!" Like that's our sports.
Right.
Shadowrun is our gladiatorial arena.
Yeah, but I would argue that we're better than athletic people. I think that.
But isn't the whole point of playing like a role playing game that you get in this fake combat is kind of exercising that same
We
impulse?
should all pretend that we have either a Jimmy Kimmel or a Burger King man behind us.
I've got Bieber behind me all the way. Justin Bieber.
I have just like a really big flashlight behind me. That's what I'm imagining.
I'm really disappointed in the Burger King for backing Mayweather. That's fucked up. Like, I thought a lot better of him, man.
Well, seriously, I
The
thought
Burger
that was
King
like.
cares only about spectacle.
Yeah,
Spectacle is money.
it's true.
That would have been. How insane would that have been if McDonald's had just backed the other guy? And it had just been like.
That would be great.
With a hamburger.
How sad is it that like you said that and I'm like, well, I should have seen that fight. Like
That should have been an undercard. Like whoever the like other like lesser fighters were before the main event. There should have been a guy dressed up like Ronald McDonald and a guy dressed like the Burger King. Like that's good advertising.
Colonel Sanders versus Wendy. I'd watch it.
Do you think
and,
there has to be?
and Burger King has the Whopper, as in the Whop her, as in the hit your wife.
Right. There has to be a moment in a boardroom at McDonald's when someone says to them, and you can't tell me that they're not aware of this or that this doesn't happen. That's so big. There has to be a moment when someone says to them, "Burger King is sponsoring Merriweather. What's his name?
Mayweather.
Man, he would hit me for implying his name had a Mary in it.
He sure would.
So what do you guys think? And then someone on the McDonald's board of directors has to say, like, nah, I don't think we should do that. And then someone else goes like, well, why not? And then someone has to go, because it's too futuristic. It's too on the nose. It's Logan's Run. It's insane. It's like, what? There's going to be a burger guys fighting? No, but we'll make so much money. Yeah, but it'll be the end of the world. It has to be Burger King versus Jimmy Kimmel, so that people have to keep eating burgers.
I think this.
If it just comes down to like Burger Guy versus Burger Guy, everyone's gonna finally find out that we're living in a fictional universe, and there won't be any reason to not run out into the street and just start flipping over cars. Because they'll finally see it. There'll be a black guy with one fast food logo on his head and another guy. They'll be beating each other up, and the fast food logos will be blinking, and there'll be burgers on the sides of the screen going up and down. And something will snap in even the most indoctrinated fucking thug. And we'll be done for.
What color is the other guy?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. How come one guy got to be black?
I assume both guys are black, but I didn't want to derail the conversation by saying they were. Are both guys black?
Nah, Manny Pacquiao's Filipino.
Well, that's why it's fucking a big match. Jesus. Why didn't you say so?
Wait, so now you're on board because,
on that point,
because there's a race war going on?
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao had that documentary. Maybe that has something to do with it.
What's that?
I guess not. Well, Manny Pacquiao had that documentary, but I guess that's there's a resounding
Manny
silence.
Pacquiao trains right down the street, like 3 blocks down the street.
Yeah, Freddie Roach's gym.
Freddie Roach.
I went up there one time as our dearly departed friend Sam Simon used to manage the creator of Simpsons and a bunch of stuff. He managed a heavyweight fighter named Layman Brewster, who was a heavyweight champion for defended it like 2 or 3 times. I went there one time with Sam and watched them train. Freddie's there, and it was like Francois Botha, who was like, I think it was called the White Buffalo. Remember him? He was in the ring training, and the sound they make when they're just sparring, the guy would block a punch and they hit each other in the arms, and these guys they weigh like fucking 250 pounds. They're lifting each other up off the ground and moving them a foot, and the sound it makes is so horrifying. And Freddie Roach's younger brother, who had just got out of jail, I believe, he's like, Jeff, get in the ring, put some gloves on, go in there, and get in there. I'm like, if to steal Chris Rock's joke, I said, if I get in that ring, down 9-1. Fucking horrifying. Like it's really scary.
Did you see the God damn it, I'm going to derail things now. The Mike Tyson documentary? Did you?
Yeah,
we
great.
watched it. Yeah. I as with the Frank Sinatra documentary, it's like okay, wait, I'm not going to say this. Like Mike Tyson, like he hit women and terrible guy too. But however. There shouldn't be a however.
Cute when
but,
he did it.
but
No, but he had like this glimmer in his eye. You guys had to see it.
But
Curtis is looking. I'm kidding.
The insane personal side of like I don't know, just like the just listening to him talk. So like he's in a documentary, so there's always that point where someone cries if it's a good documentary. And it's like early on, it's like, and then that was that point. And then the first guy beat the shit out of him. He's like started crying because it was like he didn't want to ever beat the shit out of anyone.
Yes,
but like
he fucking did.
Yes.
No, but
yes.
it all feels so tragic, and no one beats their wives because they're an adjusted, great person.
But he had like this mentor
sad.
who was
It's a
like who
cycle of
like
sadness.
disciplined him and stuff. I don't know. It was just like
And the Burger King.
You're watching
like,
the documentary and you go, God damn it!
it.
Can you just not hit women so that everyone can like recognize you as this amazing hero? Because it's like you can't stop. There's like bells ringing. By the way,
he's like,
Sean
look,
Penn.
he's
Everyone
like,
loves Sean Penn. He tied Madonna to a chair and fucking tortured her for 2 days. Like fuck you. Like
you
yeah,
know,
we forget it.
they're
Here's your Oscar.
They're
Fuck
always
you.
at work.
But it's not just the fucking barbarians.
I'm sorry, Chan. We were going to play Shadowrun, but then this happened.
No, but that's the thing that's awful about it, because there is a sport behind boxing. Obviously, it's a sport, and it's a very sophisticated thing. But also, the people that are in it don't tend to be the most adjusted, non-abusey type people.
Yeah, where are you
like,
going to pull them from?
Bad
Harvard?
Things happen from them. That happened to them. There's a reason why they hit people so hard.
It's pretty amazing when you can pull someone from out of that environment and discipline them enough to, because like it seems like there's so many rules to beating the shit out of another man who has also learned how to beat the shit out of another man. Like that, you have to like. You wouldn't imagine any of these people getting into the ring as being people who were capable of like showing up at 6 a.m. for like a practice or something. But obviously they have more discipline than anybody, which is like, man, I've never worked hard for anything. Like I always imagine the guys that beat people up as being the laziest people in the world, but some people are like,
well, hang on a second. You know, I'm trying to remember his name now. He was the world heavyweight champion in the 20s.
Works hard, McGimmon.
Hang on. This guy...
Errol punching stuff.
This guy, I don't remember his name. I always blank on his name, but he was an interesting guy. He was the world heavyweight champion, and he was a Shakespearean scholar. At the same time, he was somebody who... I have a book at home, which is a collection of the complete works of Shakespeare, and it was signed by this guy, and then the student who owned the book made a note in it that so-and-so, I can't remember his fucking name, the heavyweight champion of the world, and you'd know his name immediately if I could remember it, which I can't, talked to Professor such-and-such's class on the Bard on this date. So this guy was at the time, the heavyweight champion of the world could also be a Shakespearean scholar.
Well, let's all aspire to those days again.
What was his name? We got to find it. Was it Jim? Jim something or other? What's his name?
DeGray Hitterbean.
I don't know. Somebody can look it up.
Hitterbeaner?
No, Hitterbean.
Okay. All right, let's play some. Jesus Christ. Spencer, who are you, is our guest recapper for today?
What? Oh, yeah.
Do we have one?
Claire from Australia.
Oh, really? We've gone down under and we've gone female.
And you're going to do her accent?
Yep.
That would be great.
We talked on the phone, and this is how she sounds. Last time on Shadowrun. Last time on Shadowrun Shantytown, we opened with the gang inside their van with the rescued youngster Jelly Dervish and a tied-up Arturo Spaguli. While discussing the successful mission, Eve took the shadow out of Shadowrun and revealed too much information about Dervish while Arturo was assertively listening. Nightblade stayed with Arturo in the van while the rest of the gang went inside Hank's last stand and came across a saucy stranger in a magenta suit with a bow slung over his shoulder. Mercy attempted to and failed to learn his identity, so she gave up and left to take a shit. The gang received thanks and a payment from the Ryan Dervish fellow, and as well as a bonus of the shoes off the poor Italian's feet. Meanwhile, in the van, Spaguli mentioned to Nightblade that their gang has compromised their anonymity with the security footage at the Burger Tyrant, implying a hit could follow. Jim discussed the risk of rewarding Shadowruns and the reason why good men rationalize why they do bad things. And in this world, that is a prison. Spaguli is just a pedophile. What will the gang's next mission be? Will this flamboyant stranger reveal his identity? And will Spaguli take his revenge? Find out now on Shadowrun.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you, Claire.
I missed 1 week. And none of that sounds familiar to me.
We basically
1 week, and all of those characters showed up?
Curtis, we accomplished one Shadowrun. We accomplished one mission, so we're kind of like starting from scratch.
I feel like
right
if
now.
you had been here, you'd be like, I've been here 3 weeks, and we're still in the car?
I was getting comfortable. All of this is new to me. Now what do I do?
We went back
I
to
didn't
that
even hear
place.
Dr. Friend mentioned.
You were there when
He didn't do much, I don't think.
You were there when we went back to the place. And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
place,
Yeah,
and we
that
got
was the
guy.
last,
So
yeah.
basically, like in between there was an episode where I don't think we did much.
Because
of
you were out of
anything.
town. You did it out of town.
Right. There was that. But all we've done is that we've taken the kid back to his dad, and
Okay.
I'm in the car with the mob
The
mob.
man.
Okay, yeah.
And we're in a bar, and right now that there is an interesting new character that we don't know anything about, who's wearing a magenta and blue suit, and it has a bow and arrow kind of situation on him.
Okay.
So he seems to be like somebody we might want to investigate.
Okay. Sorry.
So
I just couldn't believe we'd moved that far ahead.
We didn't really go that far.
Okay, it seemed like it.
So I walk up to the bar and get near the fellow in the magenta suit, Spencer.
All right. He's drinking a glass of water quietly.
I say, what's your name?
Oh, I don't give that out too easily.
Okay, I'm the same way. I like your style, and I walk away.
That happens. Meanwhile, in the car, I think Jim Nightblade was just climaxing an epic rant.
It wasn't my choice to cliff break on.
Oh,
that,
I remember. So
anyways,
Is he by himself?
That's how I
he's
feel.
with me. I'm a gangster. I'm tied up.
So that's how it is.
Shit, man. Well, I think I understand if you want to, untie me.
So you're not going to, and I encourage you to be convincing. You're going to forget this happened and nothing's ever going to happen.
Yeah, man.
Said this, the speed of your response, it's reflexive. Feels like if you were lying. It's like a guy who just wants to get out of the car.
Well, okay, you're right. Run it by me again.
Okay, so if you try to pursue this event, if you try to follow up on it, if any harm comes to Jellyfish or his father,
Jelly Dervish and Ryan Dervish.
it will be repaid upon your family for generations to come.
Yeah, man.
All right, you know what? I don't believe you. I'm going to shoot him in the head.
This Shadowrun brought to you by Burger King.
I'm sorry, Curtis. This isn't me. This is a character.
It's all right.
I'm shooting him. I'm shooting him in the head.
You shoot him right in the head, and he doesn't even have time to react. Your robot-like arm reflexes are so reflexive. He doesn't even have time to breathe out slumps to the floor.
Hey, I told you, mother.
It's an interesting trait for an assassin.
The loudest sniper. Can I use my smart link?
Yep.
Okay, I use my smart link to contact everybody.
Oh, that's the comm link. But yeah.
Sorry. Real smart. I use my comm link. Chicka-choo. Everyone, can we meet by the truck to regroup?
We're all in the bar right now. Everybody but Nightblade.
All right, let's meet in the bar. I'm here too. I'm staring at you while I'm saying this. Nightblade, can you meet us in here? We don't know what you're doing, but
yeah, I just got to clean up the Uber.
All right.
I get on the comm link and say, Nightblade, what's happening? You coming? What's going down?
There's some cups and fries and stuff. I got to pick up the Uber. Make sure.
That's not normally your style to tidy up an Uber. Normally you just kind of leave the Uber as is.
Uber, like if we send it back with a body, like what?
Yeah, is there an Uber driver or is it a robot?
It's a robot, yeah.
But is there surveillance in the Uber?
How does that
There's
work?
cameras, yeah. Uber's a pretty private company. They don't work with police.
Well, that's good to know.
Well, so
okay.
if you send one back with a dead body in it, does it?
I mean, I don't think that's a fair question to ask the dungeon master. I don't know. I think that in
from
general,
my understanding, though, I'm a criminal.
yeah, no, you don't just send bodies. I mean, you don't just you take care of bodies.
All right, I drag the body out of the Uber, and I radio to them like I'm almost there. I just get we left some wrappers. And just there's charges, and I'm like drag the body out, and I find like a dumpster.
Okay, you find a dumpster near Hank's Last Stand.
I throw the body in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and all right, I go to join them.
That happens. You enter. There's a purple suited man with a bow. Other than that, there's just Teddy and the dervishes.
I walk up to Nightblade and go, why is there blood spatter on your face right now?
He said Spaguli is, you know.
Did you deuce Spaguli? Did you take him out?
He's not. He agrees that the mission is over.
The mission of breathing?
There won't be anything to talk about anymore about it. It's like the mission's over. We went on it and it's done.
Okay.
And
What have you done?
Hodegard knows the answer to this and all other details in between. He rolls his eyes, then activates his mind probe and directs it toward the young man who's sitting with the magenta suit to see if there's some sort of information that he can draw from him.
All right. You start doing that, and the man starts screaming in agony. He leaps to his feet and pulls his bow and starts pointing it wildly. You're getting flashes of pain and darkness and loneliness and grim work being done.
I jump up and using my charisma and composure, I say to the man who's wildly pointing his bow, hey, what are you drinking?
He goes, I'm being mind probed and it hurts like hell. This is the worst. I'm going to start, and he starts
calm down.
He starts loosing arrows every which way.
I stop the mind probe.
All right. 3 arrows bury themselves in the ceiling. It seems that the mind probe threw off his aim. Or maybe he's a poor aim.
I saddle up next to him, using my charisma. Hey, sharpshooter. What's your name?
Not really in the mood to talk.
I get
probed.
it. I get it. I'll have what he's having.
Hank brings you a water.
Cool, level, transparent. I get it. Hey, obviously you just had a freak out. I get that. I've freaked out before. What's going on with you? I'm just a connoisseur of stories. What's your deal?
I think that guy just tried to read my thoughts.
Fuck.
I should.
God damn it! I hate
I'm not
that.
always subtle.
That fucking sucks. What do you think he got?
Nothing, probably. I don't know. Maybe my childhood.
I go on the comm link and I say to Mercy, we're kind of out of a job right now. Maybe this guy, find out if he has something that he wants us to do.
All right. Childhood, the worst. Why do we have them? You look like you're somebody who wants something, and I'm somebody who gives things. What's going on with you? I'm not on the up and up. Neither are my friends. Do you have any VDs? Vendettas?
She's not our face man for nothing, you guys.
Yeah, but I don't talk about business at the bar.
I get
It's
that.
just a personal rule.
Yeah, I
you
understand
seem like
that.
A guy
Can
who
I?
has a big office. Sorry, I'm going to the bathroom.
Will you take a walk with me?
No, I'm actually here to meet a friend.
Cool. Yeah, me too. Like two or four friends. You smell. I'm sorry to say this. You smell dangerous. What? This is so embarrassing. But what might I be smelling? What is that smell? What is that dangerous smell?
Danger.
Oh my God, danger! I'm playing with a button on the top of my shirt. Oh no, you're gonna be one of these guys. I know you're one of these guys. I have a really hard time talking to guys who I know are really physically impressive and violent. Who are you? I'm meeting somebody. I'm meeting somebody too. Who are you meeting? Are you meeting
an old friend?
An old friend. Me too. Can we play a game really fast?
I don't play games.
What if I told you I was a game?
I wouldn't.
What if I told you I was a game with a reward?
I don't play games.
All right, what if I gave you the rule book?
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Gently.
I walk up to, Spencer, what's the bartender's name?
Hank.
Hank. I walk up to Hank and say, Hank, is there a Mr. Johnson that we can meet? We're kind of out of a job right now.
I don't know, man. You got to talk to Ted about that.
Okay. Was Ted in the house?
Oh, yeah. He's talking to Jelly.
Oh, right, yeah. I walk over to Ted, to Ted and Jelly and sit down next to them and say, Mercy, our usual face man, is apparently a prostitute now. Not sure what's going on precisely, but do you have any gigs for us?
I mean, I wanted to talk to you guys about video surveillance.
Uh-oh.
It seems that, again, on your last mission, you left a bunch of security cameras. It's no good. I mean, my clients can't have, personal data's leaking out. They can't be tied back to these things. It's no problem. I mean, I understand you got your strengths, you got your weaknesses, but that's why I called in some help.
Uh-oh.
He's a technomancer, and his name is Hackeye.
Wait, are you referring to the guy with the bow?
Yeah, he's over there. He's going to be helping you out with the technological side of things. So I already had him wipe that.
I didn't have to do all this? I could have just asked, I guess.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So you're saying look, I'm the first one to agree that on the technological side, we're not that savvy. So this guy over there at the bar, is that the guy you're talking about?
Yeah, that's him. He's a pretty renowned hacker around these parts. He's a good friend of mine. He knew Cool Dennis.
And we can trust this guy?
Yeah.
Using the power to analyze truth, I analyze what the hell that was that just came out of your mouth.
It was confusion because we're talking about hired murderers and criminals. Trust is, I don't know. It's a perilous concept in this kind of world.
So do you have a job for us? And if you do, you're saying that we have to bring along this weirdo at the bar?
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying if you want, if you want him to go on runs with you, you can. He can stay here. If you just need someone to delete security footage, he could do that.
Yeah, truth be told, we did kind of leave a messy trail behind us on that.
That's okay.
Okay. So do you have a job for us?
Yeah, I actually got someone on the horn right now. Those guys that hired you to get that Baldwin guy? They loved your work so much, they want to hire you again.
Oh, yeah? What's the job?
I'll let him tell you. Are you guys ready?
I think we should bring Mercy over for this because she's our face person.
Yeah, you look over, and at this point, I'm just taking the water and just pouring it on my face.
She's a maniac on the floor.
And then I overhear you, and I'm like, excuse me. And you're gross. And I walk away. I join.
Okay.
Lay it on to Ted, or whatever your name is.
He flips on the screen, and you see a black avatar of a shadowy businessman figure. It goes, I see you've done some work in the past for our company, and we are very grateful. You see, you helped us with a recent acquisition, and we need some help finding some of that acquisition's former possessions.
Sir, if you need to take a moment to breathe, take all the time you need.
That is very rude.
Can you be more specific? What do you mean, acquisitions and whatnots?
Oh, we recently took on a new hire that you helped procure for us, and he left some of his prior work at a former employer. Now, we hope to receive some of that work, but it has made it hard for us, and he's hid it away.
Are you talking about BTL chips from Baldwin?
We're talking about research in that department, something along those lines. We don't know exactly what the research is, but we know it's valuable.
These are digital files, perhaps, that you are seeking?
Yes.
So you usually go somewhere and get some files?
Yes, I would like that very much.
All right.
All right. Do you have any other pertinent information?
Perhaps a location.
I do have both of those things. Mind Plus Limited is a small BioWare clinic specializing in brain stuffs. They operate a small clinic in the burbs. There is the pay data. It's kept under lock and key. Very strict security. They've got vibration sensors, cameras, and guards.
Oh, my.
So some of this material is organic?
Oh, yes, the BioWares for brain enhancements.
What is the security system like at Brain Limited Plus Clinic?
I don't know everything, but I know they've got vibration sensors, cameras, and guards.
Hey, you know what? It seems like I pull our team. Do we have a team name? Have we come up with a team name?
We're the Scooterlings, right?
The Scooterlings.
The fuck ups.
We're called Los Fuck Ups.
Yeah.
I pull the team aside and say, okay, this sounds pretty technological. I think we might need a technomancer on board.
Yeah, we're gonna bring that asshole with the bow with us.
I mean,
right?
yeah, why not bring him? He seems fascinating. I mean, what's the worst case scenario? We live our lives and don't meet new people that technomance with bows and arrows and whatnot.
I'm still a bit worried about this old friend.
Sorry, what?
What
the old friend that he's waiting to meet.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, because the technomancer is waiting for a friend.
Oh, but yeah, we all have backstory. I mean,
All right.
So you ever asked me about mine?
So Ted,
I'm going fucking insane over here. Just murdered a guy in a car.
What's the name of the guy? Who's our?
How am I not interesting? Why aren't people trying to read my mind? Because I'm not sitting in a corner with a fucking bow. Is why.
Do we have all the information we need for this job?
I'm gonna
Ted?
fucking explode.
You can always find more information.
Using the sort of maps that I have in my head and using relevant information, name of the actual building, everything indicates the location is. This is the map that I'm using in my head.
Near the beach. Oh wait, near the beach.
But I have and I have a specific route to this.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I know where it is. I know how to get us there.
And we're specifically looking to get certain files?
Yes. A research belonging to the former employee.
Baldwin
Brown.
Baldwin Brown. Okay.
Will his name be on him, or do we got to take all the files?
Whatever works.
How did we all meet? All right.
I walk over to the guy that won't tell me his name, and I sidle up next to him, and I say, "Bartender, I want a water." And he.
Okay. You
So
get the water.
I get a water, and I toast the guy. So I know it's bad luck to toast water, but are you into making some easy money?
Oh yeah.
You strike me as maybe kind of guy that maybe knows a little bit about technology.
I do.
Yeah. My name's Eve. What's your name? I know you didn't like telling your name, but I gave you mine.
They call me Hack Eye.
Oh, Hack Eye.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
Is your last name Pierce?
I don't have a last name.
Okay. We got a job. We're gonna have to. Thank you, Curtis.
Sorry. I liked it.
My MASH reference was only made Curtis laugh. I say we're gonna have to. We need a guy like you that's a technomancer to help us out in this job. But first, as is our policy, we got to take you out back and kind of
jump you in.
We
got to jump you in.
Oh, Nightblade's going to jump you in? I mean, I don't do the jumping in. Our friend Nightblade does the jumping in.
We all jump him in. That's La Vida Loca. It's,
Okay.
It's not like a personal thing.
Hack guy, it's not a personal thing, but we just got to make sure that you're legit. And
We're gonna jump you in.
You can handle yourself.
I gotta jump you in.
You're gonna jump you in.
You ready to get jumped in?
Yeah.
Yeah? You like getting jumped in?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, let's go back. Let's jump this guy in.
All right. Cliffhanger!
The weirdest cliffhangers.
Thank you, everybody. Erin McGathy. DeMorge Brown. Spencer Crittenden. Curtis Armstrong. I'm Jeff Davis, and your mayor, of course, is Mr. Dan Harmon. Once again, brought to you by Burger King. Do it your way. Burger King.
I can't be by myself.
Did you get any of that?
It's a good show.
Feral Audio.